So a lot of you who've been watching this course might be wondering right now, okay, well, which bit should I use for my horse? You know, maybe my horse is lazy, or my horse is really speedy, or my horse is really strong after jumps, or my horse is young and a green horse. You know, which type of bit should I use? And this is what I'm gonna say to that. And it might not be the answer that everyone wants to hear. I know a lot of people, they want to know the specific bit. I am a professional coach, a trainer. I've worked with endurance horses, show jumping, dressage. I mean, every single horse discipline almost in the world that you can think of. I've worked in a variety of countries. So I'm gonna tell you from my personal experience, and I've worked with thousands of horses, thousands of riders, thousands of students all around the world. And you know, for me, I would always ride a horse in just a snaffle bit. And I've almost never used, you know, anything other than that. I do have some horses that I've worked with bitless, things like that, but a snaffle bit or even a French link snaffle, so that's also very similar to like a snaffle bit. So those are pretty much the only ones that I use. And like I said, you know, I've done high level show jumping, Grand Prix dressage. You know, one of my students with endurance, you know, she went to the WEG, the World Equestrian Games. So, you know, this is high level professional competition horses, and we did everything in a snaffle bit. Now, I'm not gonna say that every horse on the universe is used to that, because I've definitely met some horses that are older that were not trained by me when they were young, and the riders were very strong and they taught the horse to be very strong, and that horse had, you know, a different type of bit. So, you know, if that wasn't my horse, I didn't own that horse, it's somebody else's horse, and that's the bit that they put on it. Because the horse is strong, you know, there's only so much I can do as a trainer. So maybe for that particular horse, you know, I didn't change the bit, and instead I worked on, you know, getting the rider working to not pull as much, or whatever it was. So, you know, you have to kind of, if you're a coach or trainer, you have to kind of judge it a little bit. But to be honest, I've never really met a horse that I couldn't, if I was training it myself or if I was working with that horse, I always ride with my seat and with my legs. And so, you know, again, the type of bit that I used was not really an issue. So even with that really strong, you know, jumping horse, and they had a little bit of a stronger bit, I taught my student to actually ride them from their seat and from their leg, so they still had that bit in the mouth, because that's what, you know, it was the owner of the horse. Like, I can't really change their mind. And, you know, I just taught them how to actually use their seat and leg better, and they did a lot better with their horse, and their horse started responding to them a lot better. And so they were able to just train in a snaffle bit, and then they would only use that other bit at the horse show, you know, because they felt like they wanted that extra little bit of leverage. So, you know, you can kind of, if you have a horse which is overbitted, go back to a snaffle bit, you know, but first learn how to ride, first learn how to, you know, take lessons, learn how to control your seat and your legs and actually ride correctly. And then from there, you know, I've never upgraded a horse off of a snaffle bit. And again, I've been doing this for 15 years. So if I can do it, I guess it's possible. So yeah, it's probably not what a lot of people want to hear. I know they're like, oh, I want a specific bit. So, you know, I can imagine that some of them are gonna give me some bad reviews or whatever, but you know what? That is my personal experience. Snaffle bit has always worked for every horse, every discipline, and I've never not needed it. Now, I know in the high level dressage, you know, it's required that you have a curb at some point. But even then, you know, they could have kind of a gentler bit, and you can always train in one thing and then go to the competition in something else. So, you know, again, that's totally up to you, but this is from my personal experience, and that is what I'm gonna recommend for everyone. So unless you are at super high level and you are looking for something very specific, in which case you should talk to your coach or your trainer, but otherwise, snaffle bits, maybe bitless, or French link snaffle, something like that. So something very mild, very gentle, and that's all you need.